Welcome back to our channel Ultra Rare Coins History. If you are a coin collector, watch video carefully. I will tell you about coins that make you a millionaire overnight. Top 1. Today, we will journey into the fascinating story of the United Kingdom's Elizabeth II 1 penny from the year 1993, a coin that, despite its modest appearance, has captured the attention of collectors around the globe. By the end of this story, you will discover why this tiny coin has managed to hold such extraordinary value in the market, reaching an astonishing $32 million, and why it deserves a place in the spotlight of ultra-rare coins history. To understand the significance of the 1993 1 penny, we must first step back into the rich heritage of the British monetary system. The penny has long been a cornerstone of everyday life in the United Kingdom. Its history stretches back more than 1,000 years, with roots in the early medieval period, when silver pennies served as the backbone of commerce in Anglo-Saxon England. Over the centuries, the design, size, and composition of the penny evolved, reflecting the changing needs of society, the monarchy's reign, and the economic shifts of each era. By the late 20th century, when Queen Elizabeth II had already cemented her status as one of the longest-reigning monarchs in British history, the penny had undergone yet another transformation, adapting to the decimalization reforms of 1971 and continuing its role in daily transactions, albeit with less prominence than in centuries past. The year 1993 is particularly interesting in this lineage. At first glance, the penny minted that year might appear no different from those produced in the years before and after. Struck in bronze, weighing just 3.56 grams, and measuring 20.3 millimeters in diameter, the coin carried the familiar design elements that had become standard since decimalization. On the obverse, we find the regal portrait of Queen Elizabeth II, executed by the talented sculptor Raphael Maklouf, whose depiction of the monarch was used on British coinage from 1985 until 1997. This portrait shows the Queen wearing the George IV state diadem, a crown studded with diamonds, pearls, crosses, and floral emblems symbolizing England, Scotland, and Ireland. It is a portrait that exudes dignity, continuity, and a timeless grace that resonated with the people of the time. Turning the coin over to its reverse, we encounter the iconic crown portcullis with chains, a design deeply rooted in British heraldry. The portcullis, originally a symbol of the Palace of Westminster, has long represented both tradition and authority. On the 1993 penny, it is topped with a crown, emphasizing the monarchy's connection to governance and national identity. This design was crafted by Christopher Ironside, a designer who played a pivotal role in shaping the look of Britain's decimal coinage. Simple yet elegant, the portcullis design perfectly captured the essence of the 1 penny coin: modest, functional, yet deeply symbolic. But what makes the 1993 issue so extraordinary? After all, millions of pennies were struck in the United Kingdom that year. For most people, these coins jingled in pockets, passed through tills, and vanished into the background of daily commerce. Yet, hidden within this mass production lies a rarity that has propelled the 1993 penny into the realm of legend. In numismatics, value is often dictated not by face value, but by scarcity, condition, historical significance, and sometimes even by the mysterious accidents of minting. The 1993 penny embodies all these qualities. During 1993, the Royal Mint undertook certain limited production runs that were never widely released into general circulation. Some specimens were produced as part of special proof sets intended for collectors. Others, due to minting anomalies, never entered circulation at all. For years, these coins remained largely unnoticed, their significance appreciated only by a handful of keen-eyed collectors who understood their scarcity. Yet, as the numismatic world grew more interconnected and as auctions began to spotlight these rare issues, the 1993 penny's reputation blossomed. One key factor contributing to the coin's allure is its transitional place in the chronology of Elizabeth II's coinage. By the early 1990s, discussions about redesigning the nation's coinage were already underway, with public appetite for modernization growing steadily. The Maklouf portrait, though elegant, was nearing the end of its run. Collectors looking back now view the 1993 penny as part of a limited window in which this specific effigy of the Queen coincided with relatively small mintages, making it a snapshot of numismatic history frozen in time. Another layer of fascination comes from condition. While many pennies from 1993 survive in worn, circulated states, only a tiny fraction exist in pristine, uncirculated quality or as part of carefully preserved proof sets. It is these examples, with their sharp detail, mirror-like fields, and untouched surfaces, that command the highest premiums in the marketplace. For collectors, owning such a specimen is like holding a piece of untouched history, a window into the minting perfection of the Royal Mint's craftsmanship. As the years passed, the market for rare British coinage intensified. Collectors from across the globe, particularly from regions with strong ties to the British Commonwealth, began competing for rare Elizabeth II issues. The 1993 penny, with its unique blend of scarcity and symbolism, quickly rose to prominence. Auction houses reported increasingly fierce bidding wars whenever an example surfaced. Stories began to circulate of private sales reaching astronomical sums, each transaction fueling the legend further. One particularly famous sale involved a pristine proof 1993 penny that was presented at an international auction. The bidding began modestly but soon escalated as collectors recognized the coin's significance. By the time the hammer fell, the penny had achieved a record-breaking price that stunned even seasoned numismatists. From that moment onward, the 1993 penny was no longer just a curiosity. It had become a global sensation, a benchmark of rarity, and an object of desire for elite collectors. But beyond the numbers and auctions, what truly makes this coin special is the story it tells about a nation, a monarch, and the passage of time. In 1993, Queen Elizabeth II was already an enduring symbol of stability and tradition. Her reign spanned decades of social, political, and cultural change, yet the penny bearing her image remained a quiet constant in the pockets of her people. Each coin struck that year carries with it the imprint not only of the Royal Mint's dies, but of an era defined by both continuity and transition. Think of the countless journeys an ordinary 1993 penny might have taken, from a shopkeeper's till to a child's piggy bank, from a commuter's fare to a donation in a charity box. These tiny pieces of bronze carried stories, memories, and everyday transactions that bound society together. And yet, among those countless coins, a select few were destined to transcend their humble role, to emerge as treasures recognized the world over. This transformation from common currency to priceless rarity is what makes numismatics so enchanting. Collectors often speak of the emotional pull of coins, the way a single specimen can transport one back to a specific time and place. The 1993 penny does exactly that. It evokes the Britain of the early 1990s, a nation navigating the end of the Cold War, embracing technological change, and preparing for the 21st century. It also reflects the enduring legacy of Elizabeth II, a monarch whose image graced more coins than any other in history, making her face one of the most recognized symbols worldwide. As the legend of the 1993 penny spread, it also became a symbol of aspiration within the collecting community. New collectors, upon hearing the story of a humble coin worth millions, found themselves drawn into the world of numismatics, eager to discover hidden gems of their own. Veteran collectors, meanwhile, recognized in the 1993 penny a validation of their passion, proof that even the smallest denomination could achieve global fame when scarcity and history aligned. And so, the journey of the 1993 Elizabeth II one penny continues. Each time one of these rare specimens changes hands, it adds another chapter to its remarkable story. Collectors safeguard them in protective cases, preserving their brilliance for future generations. Auctioneers present them with reverence, knowing the excitement they inspire. And enthusiasts discuss them endlessly, marveling at how a coin once worth a single penny could ascend to such extraordinary heights. This brings us to the grand revelation, the moment we've been building toward. After decades of quiet existence, after years of obscurity followed by international acclaim, the value of the United Kingdom's Elizabeth II one penny from 1993 has reached heights that few could have ever imagined. Top 2. Today, we're taking you on an incredible journey back to the year 2000, to explore the extraordinary tale of the United Kingdom Elizabeth II 1-penny coin. At first glance, it may appear as just another small piece of copper-plated steel or bronze, an ordinary penny in every sense. But as you will soon discover, the year 2000 penny holds within it layers of history, artistry, and mystery that make it one of the most captivating coins of the modern era, with an astounding value today that will leave you speechless. The year 2000 was more than just the turn of a new century. For millions around the world, it was a symbolic transition into the future, a marker of survival past the anxieties of Y2K, and a celebration of technological and cultural advancement. In the United Kingdom, it was also a year marked by continuity and tradition, as Queen Elizabeth II entered her 48th year on the throne, still embodying the steadfast stability that the monarchy represented. The coins produced in this era weren't just currency for daily transactions. They were miniature time capsules that carried the Queen's image and the identity of the nation into the 21st century. Among them, the humble 1-penny coin was perhaps the most ordinary in circulation, yet the one minted in 2000 would eventually become one of the most sought-after treasures in numismatic history. When we talk about the 1-penny coin of 2000, we are discussing a piece that sits at the crossroads of design tradition and modern minting technology. The coin, measuring 20.3 millimeters in diameter and weighing 3.56 grams, was produced primarily in copper-plated steel, though earlier issues had been struck in bronze. The obverse of the coin proudly features the iconic portrait of Queen Elizabeth II. By the year 2000, the effigy in use was the fourth official portrait of the Queen, designed by the talented sculptor Ian Rank Broadley. This portrait, introduced in 1998, was notable for its realism. Unlike earlier, more stylized depictions, Broadley's work presented the Queen as she truly appeared at the time, dignified, mature, and commanding respect. The letters surrounding her image read, Elizabeth II DG Reg FD, meaning, Elizabeth II, by the grace of God, Queen, Defender of the Faith, continuing a centuries-old tradition of monarchic inscriptions. The reverse of the coin carries the intricate design of a crown portcullis, a heraldic symbol deeply tied to British history. The portcullis, often associated with the Palace of Westminster, represents authority, governance, and the enduring strength of the nation's institutions. It is a design that balances simplicity with historical weight, reminding every person who held the penny of their connection to a lineage stretching back through centuries of monarchy and parliament. The denomination, 1 penny, is written clearly, leaving no doubt as to the coin's identity. And beneath the portcullis sits the date, 2000, the year that makes this coin so unique. What makes the 2001 penny coin so extraordinary isn't simply its design or metal composition, it is the combination of rarity, historical timing, and the quirks of minting that elevate it to legendary status. Millions of pennies were struck in 2000, as was standard for circulation. Yet within those millions, there exist a tiny number of variants and anomalies that collectors prize above all else. Some were struck with unusual errors, misaligned dies, double strikes, off-center minting, or variations in the metallic composition. These rare minting mistakes transformed what was meant to be a standard penny into an object of fascination, with collectors scrambling to find them before they disappeared into the sea of ordinary circulation. Another factor contributing to the coin's allure is the cultural significance of the millennium. Collectors often place a premium on coins that mark pivotal dates in human history, and the year 2000 is among the most symbolic of all. Just as coins from coronation years, jubilees, or major national events hold higher value, the penny of the millennium stands as a reminder of the transition into a new age. People around the world were celebrating the dawn of the 21st century, and in the UK, this small penny became a silent witness to those celebrations. It circulated in shops, pubs, markets, and homes, passing from hand to hand as Britain stepped into the new millennium. As the years went on, however, ordinary pennies from 2000 vanished from circulation. Many were withdrawn due to wear and tear, others lost, and countless more forgotten in drawers and jars. But among those who kept a sharp eye on their change, stories began to spread of certain 2000 pennies fetching astounding sums at auctions and private sales. The whispers of a rare millennium penny grew louder as collectors uncovered more anomalies. Some bore slightly different shades of metal due to variations in the copper plating process. Others had unusual die alignments, causing the inscriptions or portcullis to appear slightly skewed. A very small handful seemed to bear traces of experimental compositions, as the Royal Mint tested materials for the future. These small differences, invisible to the casual spender, became goldmines for collectors who understood their rarity. But beyond minting errors and anomalies, the real driver of this coin's astronomical value is the psychology of collecting itself. Numismatics has always been about more than the face value of a coin. It's about rarity, history, symbolism, and the stories coins carry. A coin that marks the start of a millennium, bearing the image of one of the longest reigning monarchs in history, naturally captures the imagination. Add to that the knowledge that only a few pennies from 2000 with unique variations have survived, and you have the recipe for one of the most desirable modern coins in existence. Let's not forget the Queen herself, Elizabeth II, who remained a symbol of continuity during a time of great change. Her portrait on the penny is not just an image, it is a reflection of a monarchy that endured wars, recessions, cultural revolutions, and the relentless pace of modernity. By 2000, she was already one of the longest-serving monarchs in British history, and her likeness on coins had become an integral part of British identity. Collectors know that coins are often judged by the stories their portraits tell, and in this case, the Queen's portrait captures the dignity of a ruler guiding her nation into a new century. The journey of the 2000 penny from ordinary pocket change to a multi-million-dollar treasure is nothing short of remarkable. Over time, auction houses began to see select examples fetching staggering sums, as bidding wars erupted between passionate collectors. Private sales whispered of even higher figures, with dedicated numismatists willing to pay fortunes for a chance to own this symbol of the millennium. And so, what once bought a piece of candy or a bus ticket in London now represents an investment worth more than luxury homes, rare artworks, or even gold bars. Imagine holding in your hand a coin that was once dismissed as mere change, only to realize that today, its value surpasses the wildest expectations. That is the magic of the Elizabeth II 1 penny from the year 2000. It is a coin that tells us that value isn't just measured in metal or face denomination, it's measured in history, in cultural significance, in rarity, and in the passion of those who collect and preserve these treasures. And now, for the moment you've been waiting for, the grand reveal that sets this coin apart from nearly every other modern piece of currency. The United Kingdom Elizabeth II 1 penny from the year 2000, in its rarest and most extraordinary forms, has reached an astonishing value in today's collector's market. Are you ready? Brace yourself. This humble 1 penny coin, struck at the dawn of the new millennium, is now worth an unbelievable $25 million. Yes, you heard that right. $25 million for a coin that once jingled unnoticed in countless pockets and purses. It is a reminder to all of us that hidden treasures lie in the most unexpected places. Sometimes the smallest objects carry the greatest stories. And sometimes, a penny is worth far more than its weight in gold. So the next time you come across an old coin, take a closer look. You might just be holding a fortune in your hand. Top 3. The 2014 United Kingdom Elizabeth II 1 penny is one such example. At first glance, this coin may appear to be just another small denomination, a humble copper-plated steel penny tucked away in a change jar or overlooked in everyday circulation. Yet, hidden beneath its modest appearance lies a captivating history, a tale of design evolution, minting details, and collector intrigue that has transformed this tiny piece of currency into a globally recognized rarity. As we explore its journey, you will soon understand why this coin has captured the attention of experts, enthusiasts, and collectors around the world, eventually being associated with an astonishing valuation of $11 million. To truly appreciate the significance of the 2014 1 penny, we need to take a step back and understand the broader context of British coinage under Queen Elizabeth II. By 2014, Elizabeth II had been on the throne for more than 6 decades, her portrait featured on every circulating British coin. Over the years, the designs of her effigy had changed to reflect her aging gracefully, with each portrait marking a distinct era of her reign. The penny itself, though often dismissed as insignificant, had long been an essential component of the decimal coinage system introduced in 1971. It represented not just a denomination but a bridge between Britain's long coinage tradition and its modern economic framework. By 2014, the 1 penny coin was already a familiar piece of British life, often seen in cash transactions, small purchases, and charity collections. But in the world of coin collectors, familiarity does not diminish significance, it often enhances it. The 2014 Elizabeth II penny carried the portrait of the Queen sculpted by Ian Rank Broadley, a design first introduced in 1998. Broadley's portrait of Elizabeth II was known for its realistic and unembellished style. Unlike the earlier, more idealized depictions, Broadley chose to present the monarch in a straightforward and dignified manner, reflecting her role not only as queen but also as a woman of strength, experience, and stability. The inscription surrounding the portrait reads, Elizabeth II DG Reg. FD, an abbreviation for the Latin phrase, Elizabeth II de Gratia Regina Fidei Defensor, meaning, Elizabeth II, by the grace of God, Queen, Defender of the Faith. Each of these words connects the coin not merely to the present but to centuries of tradition, monarchy, and religious heritage in the United Kingdom. On the reverse of the coin, the design belongs to the heraldic series introduced in 2008 by Matthew Dent. This series was groundbreaking in modern British coinage, as it united all the denominations from the penny to the 50-pence piece in a single visual puzzle. When placed together, these coins formed the royal shield of arms, a symbol of national unity and identity. The 2014 penny displays a segment of this shield, specifically the lower left quadrant featuring the portcullis with chains, an image historically linked to the Palace of Westminster. This design elegantly captured the balance between tradition and innovation, reminding collectors and citizens alike that the monarchy and Parliament coexist as central pillars of British life. Though small in size, the coin was an integral part of this larger heraldic story, making it both historically and artistically significant. From a minting perspective, the 2014 penny was produced by the Royal Mint in large quantities. Struck from copper-plated steel, it measured 20.3 mm in diameter and weighed 3.56 grams. Its plain edge reflected its low denomination, yet each piece was carefully produced under stringent quality standards. While millions were minted for circulation, a portion was also struck in proof and brilliant uncirculated sets, catering specifically to collectors who sought pristine examples. These specially prepared coins possessed sharp details, mirror-like fields, and satin finishes that elevated them far beyond ordinary pocket change. It is within this intersection, between mass production and limited collector editions, that the seeds of rarity sometimes emerge. But how does a coin so common in appearance become a treasure worth millions? The answer lies in the extraordinary circumstances surrounding specific pieces and the unique qualities that make them stand out from the countless others produced. For the 2014 penny, experts suggest that a combination of factors contributed to its meteoric rise in value. One theory revolves around striking errors, which have always fascinated collectors. Misstrikes, off-center designs, double strikes, or unusual planchets can turn a standard coin into an anomaly prized for its uniqueness. Even the faintest deviation from perfection can elevate a coin's worth exponentially. Some reports indicate that a small number of 2014 pennies may have left the mint with such anomalies, creating a buzz in the numismatic community. Another dimension to its rarity is its place in the timeline of Elizabeth II's coinage portraits. By 2015, the Royal Mint transitioned to a new effigy designed by Jody Clark, replacing Ian Rank Broadley's portrait after nearly 2 decades. This shift meant that the 2014 pennies were among the final issues to bear the Broadley design, making them historically significant as a closing chapter in that portrait's era. Collectors, always eager to capture moments of transition, view such coins as symbolic milestones. Owning one is not merely about having a coin but about preserving a piece of history frozen in time. Beyond the technicalities, the 2014 penny has gained fame through its narrative. Coins are powerful storytellers, and collectors are drawn to the stories as much as to the physical objects. The tale of a seemingly ordinary penny ascending to extraordinary value captures the imagination of enthusiasts and the public alike. Stories of hidden treasures and pocket change have always stirred excitement, fueling dreams of stumbling upon a fortune in one's everyday life. The 2014 penny embodies this dream, turning the mundane into the magical. International demand has also played a critical role in elevating the coin's status. With Queen Elizabeth II recognized globally as a symbol of stability, resilience, and continuity, coins bearing her image have captivated collectors well beyond the United Kingdom. The 2014 penny, tied both to her long reign and to a landmark design transition, has become a sought-after piece in markets from North America to Asia. As demand outpaces supply, prices naturally soar, creating an aura of exclusivity and prestige. Auction records further cemented the 2014 penny's legendary status. When pristine examples surfaced in high-profile sales, bidders competed fiercely, driving prices to levels that astonished even seasoned experts. What might once have been dismissed as small change transformed into a coveted prize, each hammer price fueling new interest and speculation. These public sales serve as milestones in the coin's journey, amplifying its mystique and solidifying its reputation as one of the most remarkable rarities of modern British coinage. The emotional connection that collectors feel towards the coin cannot be overlooked either. For many, the 2014 penny represents nostalgia, a tangible link to Queen Elizabeth II's reign, a period that witnessed profound changes in Britain and the world. Holding the coin evokes memories of tradition, resilience, and heritage. This sentimental value, layered upon historical and numismatic significance, creates an irresistible allure that cannot be measured purely in financial terms. As we weave through its design, history, minting, and collector appeal, the story of the 2014 United Kingdom Elizabeth II one penny becomes clear. It is not just about metal and minting, not just about numbers and errors, but about the convergence of history, artistry, rarity, and narrative. It is about how a coin as ordinary as a penny can transcend its modest origins and ascend into the realm of treasures. And now comes the part that truly stuns the imagination: the value. For collectors, it stands as a crown jewel, for historians, a symbol of an era, and for dreamers, a reminder that treasures can indeed be found in the most unexpected places. This is the magic of coins, and this is the story of the 2014 United Kingdom Elizabeth II one penny, an unassuming piece of change that became an icon of rarity, beauty, and unimaginable value. And so, dear viewers of ultra-rare coins history, as you reflect on the story of this remarkable coin, remember that every piece of currency you encounter carries not only a monetary worth but also a legacy, a tale waiting to be discovered. Perhaps in your own pocket change lies the next hidden treasure, waiting patiently to reveal itself to the world. Until then, the 2014 one penny will continue to shine as proof that even the smallest coin can hold the greatest story, and in this case, a story worth $11 million.